Happy Easter! I hope everyone's having an awesome Easter. I know I have had a very nice, relaxing weekend for the first time in a long time, so that was pretty awesome. I use the word awesome too much. I apologize in advance for the glare. It's a problem I haven't figured out how to solve. I'm pretty sure the only way to make the glare go away permanently is if I put in contacts, which I do often, just not all the time. Ooh, it's gone now. Okay, so first Hank got me thinking about the whole time travel thing, and then John Green's video about the new YouTube change, and then there was a discussion going on in the subsequent comments following John's video. Comments are awesome, you should leave some at the end of this video. For those of you who looked at the video, basically every once in a while when someone got really mad at YouTube, John replied by saying, yeah, but they're losing $500 million a year. I wouldn't give up $500 million, period, let alone on a yearly basis. And I don't feel like YouTube is wrong for feeling the same way. So in order to keep YouTube happy and nerdfighters happy, now watch this because I'm really gonna blow your mind and answer one of life's questions. It turns out that the cost of happiness is $500 million. I don't have $500 million, and I think $500 million is more than what is in the Nerdfighter budget to raise money. I know we're really good at raising money, I think that's a little bit much. So, me having thought about the time travel thing and the money issue, I have come up with what I think is a decent plan. I hope. My plan all started because I was thinking about the movie Click. For those of you who haven't seen the movie, Click is basically the guy gets a remote to control his life, and by the end of the movie decides that he would rather not have a remote control his life. I think this is a mistake. I think that the remote malfunctioned, and that if he had a properly functioning remote, it would be great. This is a rough drawing of what the remote would look like. As you may have noticed, the remote only has two buttons. They are skip and pause. If you skip something, you can't rewind back to it. That's just your fault. To prevent people from skipping several years of their life, or pausing and just getting really old prematurely and then dying really young, you cannot skip forward more than 8 hours, and you cannot pause for a time more than 8 hours. And I picked 8 hours because that's how long you sleep, and my logic was, like I think most college students is, in that you can pause and sleep for 8 hours between classes. Your hours cannot add up. So for every 8 hours you pause, you have to fast forward 8 hours. And vice versa. Every 8 hours you fast forward, you pause. So here in the credit section, it'll either show a +8, -8, point however many minutes or whatever. And then the other one is time, which is why I think there may need to be more buttons. Alright, so you push skip, and then you skip to whatever time you want to go to, up to 8 hours. And it can be less than 8 hours. Like, it works like math. If George decides to pause his life for 3 hours and take a nap, he can still pause for up to 5 more hours, or he can now fast forward for 11 hours. So realistically, if you use up all of your fast forward credits, you can pause for 16 hours, and if you use up all of your pause credits, you can fast forward for up to 16 hours. But never more than that, and almost always less than that. The idea is to keep your credits as close to 0 as possible. 0 means that you are equal, that your pause and fast forward have balanced out. I really hope that makes sense. So I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think if we as a Nerdfighter community came together and made this remote, we could raise upwards of $500 million. Actually, I think we could raise more than that because no one's ever made a timer before. We could probably get $500 billion and buy YouTube and make it full of Nerdfighter awesomeness. Though it's just occurred to me that as Nerdfighters, if we had $500 million, we would probably rather use it to decrease world suck than YouTube suck. So there it is, my brilliant plan, and yeah. I'm actually pretty good with the YouTube change personally, as long as I'm still allowed to make videos and make my video responses, because no one watches my videos anyway, so no big deal. DFTBA.